Hello, in today's video I'm going to share 5 common edible plants in nature. This video will focus on edible plants in North America since that's where most of my viewership is from. But I am interested in exploring edible plants around the world, so I may make future videos of this. If and when I do, I will certainly make a playlist for easy locating. But getting back to edible plants, why should you care about them? I mean, you already have food abundantly available to you, especially if you live in North America. Why would you ever need to eat edible plants picked right from nature? Well, you may never need to eat edible plants, but it's wise to be aware of them. Not only may you find yourself in the rare situation where they're the only food available to you, but you might find that you like them part of your diet. Whatever the case, it never hurts to be aware of the resources freely available to you in nature. It's important to note that you have to be careful when it comes to eating plants found directly in nature. Make sure you're confident you know the plant is edible, which part of it is edible, and that the environment it's in hasn't been affected by pesticides and other toxins. For example, you wouldn't want to eat edible plants in the city or at the local park, which may spray pesticides such as weed killers on the grass or plants. Also, don't eat edible plants that have been commercialized for other purposes, such as flowers from a florist. Make sure the plants are straight from nature in a non-toxic environment. If you're serious about learning more about edible plants, even ones that are near where you live, look for books on the topic of wild edible plants in your area. They will help you not only identify edible plants, but how to spot toxic ones. Okay, so let's get to these 5 common edible plants in North America. First is Dandelion, scientific name Pterozacum officinale. And I apologize if I am mispronouncing these words. The funny thing about this plant is I used to eat them when I was a child, not constantly, and I'm glad they weren't poisonous because I didn't know whether they were edible at the time. But anyway, dandelion is popularly known as a pesky weed that attacks grass every spring and summer in North America. These plants are completely safe to consume, stem and all. The new leaves taste best while the older leaves are a little bitter, but boiling them can lessen the bitterness. Dandelion is often used in tea and has a mildly sweet aroma. High in vitamin C, it's also great for warding off colds. Suggestions for consuming it, other than as tea, are in salads, soup, or stir-fry. Or if you want to be like I was as a child, you can simply eat them. Second is chicory, scientific name Chicory intybus. This plant is not only in North America, but in Australia and Europe. It's a bush plant that produces small white and blue flowers. You can consume the entire plant, flowers, leaves, and root. However, the petals are bitter, but they're less bitter in the spring and fall compared to the summer. The best way to consume it is just picked when its nutrients are the most potent. They have a mildly sweet taste, and the root has the most nutrients, so you'll want to eat that. Other ways to consume it is to boil it, mix it with other greens, or toss it in a salad. Third is violet, scientific name Viola odorata. This is a flower with tiny violet petals with a fragrant aroma. You often see it used as decoration on cakes and other baked goods. The leaves are edible and high in vitamin A and C, however the roots and stems are not. Due to its nutrient content, violets are also used medically. You can treat mild headaches with a towel soaked in violet tea, then place it on the back of your neck. For the petals, the leaves can be eaten raw or boiled or dried for tea. You can also cook them and add to greens or toss it for a beautifully presented salad. Fourth is wild asparagus. Scientific name is Asparagus officinalis. This edible plant is found all across North America. It's very hardy and appears like dead stalks that are a few feet tall. It's generally a mix of old and new stalks. It also grows in soil that's not too wet. Popular places for locating wild asparagus are in the wilderness, as well as along ditch banks and railroad tracks. They are also found in Europe and West Africa. So locations that have dry summers are where you'll see a lot of this edible plant. It's important to note that wild asparagus is not the same as the asparagus sold in grocery stores. Wild asparagus are generally thinner, but in the end they are similar plants, with wild asparagus being rich in potassium and vitamins B6 and C. With this edible plant, you can consume it raw or boil it in water. You can also drink the broth, which will contain some of its nutrients. Fifth is clover. Scientific name is trifolium. Clover is a very popular plant in the United States, just like dandelion, and is prevalent everywhere. These small green leaf or four-leaf plants are high in protein. It's important not to eat clover raw. It can create digestive problems if you do. However, you can boil it to make a tea and add in salads, stir fry, or whatever dish you like. For red and white clover, you can eat them raw as well as cooked. And that's that. 5 common edible plants found in nature, specifically in North America. These are plants that you've likely seen a lot of and are not far from where you are. Remember to always research the edible plant thoroughly before consuming. I hope this video was insightful and sparked your interest in researching edible plants more and giving them a try. If so, please like, comment, and share so others can discover the value of edible plants. Subscribe for more whole food and nutrition videos, and until next time, take care.